Some yoga now we must do. Greetings, young Padawan. I promise I'm not going to talk in Yoda speak anymore. But we're going to start seated for today. So sit yourself down, cross-legged. Or if you really want to Yoda it up from the beginning, maybe putting your feet into lotus. So taking one foot to thigh, crossing the other over. I'm going to start in a cross-legged. There's time for some lotuses. Just roll the shoulders back. Take a deep breath as you settle yourself in. Maybe closing down the eyes and just allowing yourself to settle. Just gently slowing the breath, maybe to come in and out through the nose now. Just a natural breath. Now, the reason I'm dressed as Yoda today is, you've probably guessed, for a Star Wars themed flow. You do not need to have watched the Star Wars films to get on board with this, I promise. Because the real theme we're going to take into our practice today is courage. And whether or not you've watched Star Wars, you probably know there's lots of fight between good and evil. Battles far away in the galaxy. And Yoda is this kind of creature and symbol of kind of stillness. And you often see him kind of in meditative positions and encouraging that kind of stillness of the mind. So a perfect thing to dress up as today to get us into the spirit. Now, he says something that I think is really poignant. Named must your fear be, before banish it you can. Named must your fear be, before banish it you can. This idea of coming kind of acquainted with your fears before you can get past it and find that courage. So I just want to let you sit with that for a moment. And then gently blink open the eyes. Press your hands down onto your legs if you're in that lotus. Come back to that seated position. We're just going to take some circles, the body around the bottom half, like we're swirling through the galaxy, on our way to a galaxy far, far away. As slowly or as quickly as you like, I encourage you to maybe start slower. And to really, if there are any spots where you're really feeling this, just let yourself be there for a second. I really want it to kind of start stretching out the body, opening up the body. The next time you come back to center, can you take it back round the other way? Circling it back round the other way. Yeah, nice. Taking it slowly, or as quickly as you did on the other side. And then the next time that you come back through center, just stop for a minute. Can you switch the cross of the legs? So whatever foot was in front before, can you switch to the other one? Press those hands down onto the thighs. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Hard to do when you've got Yoda on your head. And then exhale, press down into the legs, and you're going to kind of curl your back so it's reaching behind you. This is a kind of seated cat-cow. Taking a deep breath in, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the head, arching the spine. Exhale, press it back behind you. One more time each way. Inhale, lifting it up. We're starting slowly and still like Yoda, exhaling to press your back behind you. And then come up through center. We're just going to release right hand to the mat. Lift your left arm up overhead. Just keep this kind of easy and gentle, not pushing yourself too far, making sure that you're rolling this top shoulder back so that the chest and the top of your body is open towards the ceiling. And then let's take it all the way over to the other side. Stretching it out, rolling that top shoulder up. Remembering this is a side bender, not a fold. So not folding to the side, opening up to the ceiling, or the sky, or the galaxy. Reach yourself all the way back up. Release the hands down. Now, hands are going to come over the legs and we're going to step the feet straight back to our downward facing dog. So really open up those fingers, press those palms down into the mat, reach your hips high. And then we're just gonna, like we're kind of in a spaceship, getting ready to launch. Can you bend the knees, send the bum back towards the heels? Yeah, and then press the hips high. So it's like you're kind of getting ready to launch that spaceship into the sky. Bend the knees, press them down towards the floor, bum to the heels. And then reach your bum high. One more time. Press the knees down. And then reach them all the way up. Lovely. And then can you just start to walk up towards the top of your mat, one foot in front of the other, and find a fold here. Releasing yourself down, letting yourself dangle maybe, letting the top of the head reach down to the mat. And then tuck your chin into your chest, start to roll all the way up, lifting your arms with you as you go. Now, can you find a Kali Mudra with your hands as they come above your head? So first fingers facing up to the sky, the rest of your hands clasped around each other. And this, we're kind of a lightsaber right now, embodying a lightsaber. So reach yourself up to the ceiling. And then as you next exhale, can you bend your lightsaber over to the right? Finding that little curve. Lovely. And then with your next breath in, reach it up, breathing out to tip it to the left. Warming up that lightsaber, ready for action. Inhale, reach your arms back, up. Release your hands, press your bum back, fold it all the way down. Inhale, lift your hands to your shins, find a little lift of the chest here. And then exhale, release it down. We're gonna step right and left foot back to a plank. Lovely. Wrists underneath shoulders. Lower those knees. Send the elbows back towards you as you lower all the way down to the mat. And then press into your hands. Inhale to rise up to your Cobra. Rolling the shoulders back, pressing hips into the floor. Now press all the way back to your knees. Tuck your toes. Find that downward facing dog. And then we're going to step that right foot through, either lifting it up to the sky first or stepping it straight through between the hands. And then make sure there's a bit of space between your feet and then lower that back knee. And can you reach your arms up again in that lightsaber type pose? Yeah, so first fingers pointing up to the ceiling. Oh yeah, here we are. It's going to be a hot old journey for me, this one, in this very thick dressing gown. But see, you can practice yoga in anything, even a Yoda dressing gown. As you exhale, can you send your lightsaber down in front of you? So keeping the arms straight, rolling those shoulders back, but reaching it in front. Inhale, lift your arms to the sky. We're just starting to warm up our fighting skills. Exhale, take the finger down, arms down in front of you. Inhale, rise. Now this time as you exhale, release the hands down in front of you, unclasp the hands so the palms are pressing together, and then can you start to peel that right arm all the way back and reach it back. So you find a twist to the right hand side. Try and keep your body up straight, roll those shoulders back, maybe look towards that right hand. And then we're going to spiral our hands all the way around this front foot, lift the back knee, and can you step all the way up to the front of your mat? Lovely, tuck chin into chest, roll all the way up, lifting your arms, finding that lightsaber Kali Mudra, sending that first finger or both of those first fingers to the ceiling. Exhale, take it to the right. Bending over, inhale, rise. Exhale to the left. Inhale, rise it up. Release those hands, press the bum back as you fold it all the way down. Inhale, hands come to shins, find a half lift. Exhale, release. Step left and right foot back to plank, lower your knees. You got it. And then send your elbows back towards your body as you lower yourself down. Inhaling to roll your shoulders back, rise to your Cobra. And then press back to your knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. Lovely. Take a deep breath here. Now we're starting to move a little bit more, just noticing how you feel. And then can you lift that left leg or step it straight through between the hands, lowering that right knee. Lovely. Reach those hands above. Let's go to round 2 of warming up our lightsabers. Really roll these shoulders back as you lift the hands high. And then exhale, send the arms forward. Inhale, rise. Keep those arms straight as you can. Exhale, send them forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, send them forward. And then can you peel that left arm all the way back behind you to find that twist? Lovely. Really bring that body up. So rolling the shoulders back, lifting that spine nice and tall. And then bring the hands around the front foot. Lift that back knee. And this time we're going to step back to our downward facing dog. Yes, lift those hips high. It's time to start our Jedi training. So let's step it up. Let's get some lightsaber work in. As you inhale, you're either going to step that right foot forward or lift it up first. Step it through between the hands. And we're going to find a warrior 1 with our feet. So step that back foot to the ground. Toes are pointing towards top left-hand corner of the mat. Bend the front leg. Straighten that back leg. Make sure that you've got a little bit of width between your feet so that you don't feel like you're on a tightrope and you're a bit unbalanced. Bend that front leg, rise the arms up. Can you find that Kali Mudra again? So that lightsaber, lightsaber shape for today. Roll the shoulders back and breathe. Lovely. Can you peel this right hip back so you're squaring your hips to the front? Yeah, ready to pounce. Okay, feel the, and I guess I kind of want to, you know when Jedis move, for those of you who've seen them, it's all really graceful, everything, like, so think about that as we're transitioning through these next couple of poses. Doesn't matter if it's not at all, but just think about it. Reach those arms up. Can you press the weight into the front foot? Keep your arms like this if you can, as you start to lift your back foot and reach those arms forward. Now you might be into a wall like I am. You might be reaching those arms out in front of you. But can you turn your back toes down towards the mat? Yes, if you wobble and you fall out of it, that's totally cool. But stretching the arms out in front of you. Yes, for one more breath. And then we're going to ground that back foot in warrior 2. So now the back toes are facing the side of the mat. Reach your hands out to the side. Now can you bring this back hand, this left hand, all the way up to the top? So clapping those hands together. And then can you peel your left hand back across the body and tilt your right arm up to the sky? It's like you've kind of got a bow and arrow, which I know isn't strictly Jedi, but it's kind of that warrior-esque that we're looking for. Lovely. Take one more deep breath here. Keep that front leg bent and then release your left hand to the back of your leg. Sweep your right arm up and over. Finding a reverse warrior, yeah, lovely. Deep breath here. Deep breath out. And then we're going to cartwheel those hands all the way back over. Step it back to downward facing dog. You've got it. Take a deep breath here. In through the nose. Maybe lift up to your tiptoes. Exhale, release your heels back towards the mat. Now we're going to step our left foot up, so either lifting it high or stepping it straight through. Left foot comes forward, and let's ground that back foot. Warrior one. So those back toes are pointing towards the top right hand corner of the mat. Lifting those arms up in that lightsaber motion. You've got it. Keep breathing, even if you're in a sweaty costume like I. Can your hips face the front? Can you find the power and the strength as you eye up your opponent? And then how graceful can you be as you start to press the weight into the front foot, lift that back leg and press those arms forward. Right toes are pointing down towards the mat. Arms are out in front of you. Yes, but they can come by your side if that's too much. Let's take one more breath here. You might fall into your plant like I am. Ground that back foot, warrior two. Gosh, poor plant. I've already got disciplined today for not looking after George over here. So I've got to up my plant game. So any tips? Comment them below. We'd love to hear. Roll the shoulders back. Warrior two, back leg straight, front leg bent. Now can you bring that right hand to the front, clap the hands together. And then we're going to peel that right arm back, tilting that left arm up to the ceiling, finding this like warrior, and be really active in your arms. Roll that right shoulder back, space between your arms. Nice, and then let this right hand go down the back leg, reach the left arm over, reverse warrior. Lovely, and then spiral the hands all the way down, step back to your downward facing dog. Now can you start to walk the hands back towards the feet? Lovely, and then tuck your chin into your chest and roll all the way up. Rolling the shoulders back and standing here for a breath at the back of your mat. Lovely. Now the next bit that we do, there's a quote in Star Wars that says a Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, not attack. Okay, so knowledge and defense. Now obviously we've had a bit of warriors that were more attacky, maybe because evil was coming, right? And so sometimes it needs to be used. But let's think more knowledge and defense. So we're going to step our right foot to the middle of the mat. Can you find that warrior one with your legs? So left toes off to the left hand corner, bend through the front leg, lift those arms all the way up. Lovely. And then we're going to come to a more defensive posture. Still a warrior, still standing strong, but you're going to release your hands back behind you, maybe finding a clasp if that feels good, or grabbing hold of your elbows, rolling your shoulders back. And then can you drop your head to the inside of this right leg? Now you might want to come back up and bring some more space between your feet so that you've got space to press your body down to the floor. And you want to try not to lean on that right thigh. Dangle your body down to the inside of your right foot. Lovely. Can you wrap your right hip back and round? Yes, lovely. Take one more breath here. And then gently roll yourself back up. Step this back foot into the center. Roll the shoulders back. Take a breath. Lovely. Left foot forward. So we're gently stepping up the mat. We're coming on this adventure. We're not bringing attack and force with us. Instead, we're using our Jedi force for defense, for wisdom. So bend into that front leg, right toes towards top right hand corner of the mat, lift the arms up, square off those hips to the front, and then release the hands behind you. Can you put the opposite thumb on top? Roll the shoulders back as you clasp and send your body down to the inside of the left leg. Yes. Wrapping that left hip back with you. Release the tip of the head down to the mat. Humble defensive warrior here. One more breath. And release. And then tuck your chin into your chest, bring it all the way back up. Lovely, step your right foot to the front. And take a shake out. Now, next pose is going to be very Yoda inspired. If you have got 2 blocks, I would so highly recommend them. Or if you've got 2 objects like blocks, then they would be really useful. We're going to come to sit down on our mat. And this is the opportunity for those of us who like a lotus pose to go on into it. So you're either going to be sitting with your legs crossed, or you're placing one foot up on thigh, other foot up on thigh. A really Yoda reminiscent pose, right? We quite often see him like this. Curled up, well, not curled up, but sitting up tall. Legs are kind of curled up. So finding your lotus or crossing your legs, whatever feels good. Now my blocks are beside me. And this is where we're going to have to kind of come on into that courage, right? So I'm talking about courage, and I'm talking about this idea of what Yoda says, of the fact that you need to kind of face those fears. And this is a bit scary, right? And it's a bit frustrating, and you're going to kind of need courage to kind of get you through it slightly. So just see how you go, keep remembering that. Now you can of course have your hands on the floor. I find it much harder. It kind of depends on the length of your limbs. Press your hands down into those blocks, those books. They need to be stable, whatever they are. And then can you lift your legs? Find that little hovering Yoda. Yes. Keep pressing, and then lower yourself down and take a breath. Lots and lots of things going on in your arms. Lots of things going on in your legs as well. The lotus is not comfortable for all of us. So if you're really not feeling it and it's tapping into the knees instead, come to a cross-legged. Wherever you are though, can you cross the other one on top? So come to the other side. I think I just did the same side again. But come to the other side, crossing the other side on top. Maybe you're using those blocks. Again, you could press your hands down into the mat. It's just going to be harder kind of depending on your body. I find blocks help to lengthen your arms here. Take a deep breath in, sit up tall, and then press down, lift yourself up. Hover that little Yoda pose. For 3, for 2, for 1. And take yourself down. Oh boy. Shuffle those blocks out of the way. If you are in a dressing gown like me and you're feeling the heat, it's cool. And can you just come and sit back on your heels for a moment? If that's not comfortable, come to a cross-legged again. Whatever's cool. And just place your hands, palms facing up, and can you just close down the eyes? Now this is kind of a variation of our hero pose. And obviously that's a big theme in Star Wars, heroes fighting. I want this to be an opportunity for you to just connect back after all the kind of, I want to say excitement, but I guess bad jokes or references to Star Wars. Just bring yourself back in for a moment. And if it feels good to you, our ocean breath, the breath that sounds like we've got an ocean, a shell on the inside of our mouth, also kind of sounds a bit like Darth Vader breathing. So if you want to come to this breath, this victorious breath, the tongue is on the roof of your mouth, and you're inhaling and exhaling through the nose, but you're hearing a noise through your mouth. Take one more breath here. And then gently bat open the eyes. And maybe you stay sitting here, maybe you come down to a cross-legged. I have got an accompaniment to this class, a Yoda meditation. So feel free to crack on and do that now. Or take yourself down to a Shavasana, have a rest and chill out. And thank you so much for tolerating this. I'd love it if you could subscribe so that I can keep making fun things like this that I really enjoy doing. May the force be with you.